Welcome back to Batkerm the Unknown, everyone. I'm your host, Batkerm, and today I want to talk about how gaming has kind of changed recently. So back in the day when I was collecting mainly Xbox 360, I didn't have a PS3 until a little while ago. But kind of around when you would start buying video games with the Nintendo Entertainment System, the original NES, and all the way up through PS2, you get awesome things in the case, not just the disc and maybe like a warning label. You'd also get a manual, some other add-ins, maybe, some papers for a subscription service or something like that, like a magazine, Nintendo Power, for instance. Well, unfortunately, that's kind of gone by the wayside with PS4 and Xbox One. So all you would have is maybe a warning slip, and that was it. So I've been kind of missing some of that. And even with the Nintendo Switch, I haven't gotten the new PS5 or Xbox Series games yet, so I don't know what comes in those two, but I know with a lot of the Switch games, you still don't even get like a manual. It's like this size. It's not that big. So one of the things that I've really enjoyed with this generation of collecting has been some of the smaller distributors or limited distributors, okay? And there's a whole bunch, okay? For example, we have Red Art Games, East Asia Soft, Signature Edition Games, and even Super Rare. So all these companies have little goodies with their games. So the one that I really want to talk about is limited run games. Now, as I understand it, limited run games really got everything flowing with the PlayStation 4 and Vita releases. And each game that they would release, it was super limited. The numbers would depend in the thousands or whatever, 1,500, 2,000, 5,000. The numbers would kind of depend on, I guess, the release. And as I understand it, companies would come to them, or they would reach out to companies first and say, hey, do you want a physical version of a digital-only game? And companies said, yeah. And I know they originally published their own game in a limited number. I think Saturday Morning RPG, Breach and Clear was their very first one. So those were very limited. I still haven't played Breach and Clear. But some of the other companies started hearing about this, and they started going to them first. Limited Run didn't have to go to anybody. I guess they're the ones that I've been mainly following. But they started off with the Vita and the PlayStation 4, like I said. So I was late to the game, so I didn't get all the early ones. But then once they started branching out, I mean, they're into, 3DS now. They're NES games. They're making Sega CD games. They're going back and re-releasing Game Boy and N64 games. So even with like special packaging. So that's kind of cool. So one of the things that I really got hooked into was the Switch when it first came out. I went all in on that system. So once I got it, I was hooked. So when I found out they were releasing, starting at number 1 for the Switch from limited run games, I missed all the Vita ones because they're not even making Vita games anymore. So they're still making PS4, but they're in like 300 or something, 150. So there's no way I can get a full set, and I've never had a full set of anything, whether it be Game Boy, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, even the Wii U. I don't have a full set of games for any system. So instead of even going with that, I know I can't do it with the Nintendo Switch, but why not get a full set of at least the limited run games? So we're going to cover limited run games for the Switch 1 through 25. Let's start checking them out. All right, the first limited run release for the Nintendo Switch was Thimbleweed Park. Now, if anyone has played Monkey Island, you know what you're getting into. It's a point-and-click adventure that almost feels like it's something out of Twin Peaks. I wasn't sure what I was getting into with this game, but after I started playing, I absolutely loved it. There's a lot of fun, a lot of comedy in this one, and I'm not real big on point-and-click games, so me saying I enjoyed this, take it as it is, but I'm not usually into these, and I liked it. So give it a shot. Highly recommend it. All right, so the second Nintendo Switch release from Limited Run Games is Mercenary Kings Reloaded Edition. Now, this is a 2D side-scrolling kind of action shoot-'em-up game. I tried to give this a shot when I first got it. I really did. I just couldn't get into it. If you guys think I need to give it another shot and play a little bit more, let me know in the comments. Flint Hook 2 is the third Switch release from Limited Run, and it's a lot of fun. The hook mechanic, I didn't expect it to be as fun as it was. It was almost like Spider-Man 2D action. I really enjoyed it. This one I highly recommended. All right, so the fourth release is Pixel Junk's Monsters 2. And this one I specifically remember Limited Run Games having an issue in production with, and it took almost a year, if not longer, to get to me. And I just got the regular edition. So this game is a lot of fun. when you're playing it. It's almost like a tower defense game, and if you want, you can go almost into a first-person view. And when you're in the first person, everything's almost claymation. It's really, really cool. I love the game. It was just disappointing how long the production took to get to me. I think we were on the 10th release by the time I got it, somewhere around there. And the load times are a killer. Make sure you have something to do in between levels, because that can take a while. Saturday Morning RPG, the 5th release. This was the one that I was the most excited for when I found out that Limited Run was going to be releasing games for the Switch. I couldn't get it for PS4 or Vita when it first came out, and the price has skyrocketed. So when I saw it was coming out and there was no reserve on how many they were making, it was an open order, I pounced on it. So once I got it, I loved it. A lot of fun. It's a mixture of Transformers and RPG, G.I. Joe, all those Saturday morning shows rolled up into one game, but they don't say any of the names, so it's kind of generic, but you know what they're talking about. It's a lot of fun. Highly, highly recommend this one. All right, number 6 is Slime Sun Super Slime Edition. So this was kind of like a side-scroller one. I remember playing this the first time. I really, really enjoyed it. I haven't really gone back to it and played much of it. I have a ridiculous backlog. I'm sure many of you do as well. However, this stands out in my mind because while playing this game, this was the first time my Switch gave me a black lockout screen, and I didn't know what to do. I thought I broke my Switch right when I got it. So that kind of made me nervous. Because of that, I haven't gone back to it. But if you guys think this is a good game to go back to, let me know. All right, so number 7 from Limited Run Games for the Switch is Kingdom New Lands. And guys, to be honest with you, I have not played this game. I remember putting it into my Switch multiple times, getting ready to play it, and something either happened or came up or I had to go do something, and I never got around to it. So this is number 7 in the run for Switch games, and I haven't even played it yet. So if you think this is a game that I need to go back to and play, let me know. All right, number 8 is the legendary Night Trap. So this one I was very excited for because, again, I've never played it, and this game is infamous. One of the ones that assisted in the ESRB ratings for video games. Now, this one, it's full motion video. All things considered, it's not a great game, but the movie's kind of cool. It's a really cool aspect of it, and I can see when it first came out how it would be groundbreaking. However, nowadays, it's almost like a good camping movie, which I love good camping movies, but full motion video, just pushing a button and finding the person at the exact moment, it's not great. I wasn't a big fan of it. However, the movie and the story around this, phenomenal. All right, and number 9 for the Switch is Thumper. Now, I never played this for the Switch, and the only reason I haven't is because I have it on VR. Now, even having it on PlayStation, I haven't had the chance to play it yet. However, looking at it and kind of reading up on it, you play as this beetle or golden beetle, and it looks like really fast and furious gameplay. So if I need to put some time into this one, let me know. At number 10 is Oxenfree. Now, I played through this one, and this one is kind of different than the normal walking simulators. I wouldn't even really call it that, but it's a side-scroller, and this is one of the games that you're going to play for the story. The story was actually really interesting. It dealt with a girl. You play as the main character, and it's about losing your friends, and you go out to an island, and they kind of go different places, and you kind of meet up with them and the story that they tell, and then you get your side of the story, and it's really, really good. So I recommend Oxenfree, whether you get it on the physical from Limited Run or you get it somewhere else, or just download it on the eShop. This one's good for the story alone. So the gameplay, not so much, not that great. There are some puzzles here and there, but I really enjoyed the story. Have you ever had a game where you got so excited for it and you hyped it up so much that by the time you got to play it, it was kind of disappointing? Well, that's what happened with me and West of Loathing, the 11th release from Limited Run. I got so excited because it looked like this game was going to be hilarious. There was a lot of comedy that I saw. Even the manual, some of the drawings and sketches of what they had in there, of what they wanted to do and what they did, finalized as stick figures instead of an actual really good artist drawing of a character. That's pretty funny. So again, this game has a lot of comedy in it, but I think I hyped it up and I thought in my head it was going to be a really, really in-depth, fun, interesting game. And it was funny, but the gameplay was lacking. So has that ever happened to you before? Let me know. All right, and by Humble Hearts comes Dust, an Elysian Tale. Now, I'm not going to lie, I haven't played this one just because the cover doesn't draw me in. It looks kind of cartoony and kiddish. So I really want to play this at least once. I don't know if it's going to suck me in or not. I don't know what I'm looking at here, but if you've played this and you think I should put some time in, let me know. All right, at number 13, we have Yooka-Laylee. Now, this one got a lot of slack because it was made by some of the creators that made Banjo-Kazooie. So everyone, I think, was expecting it to be like that game. It's not bad. It's not great. Again, I think people hyped this game up and were expecting the world, and when it came out there, it just wasn't great. It was okay for what it was. I didn't mind it. Again, it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It's just an okay game. Now, the next one they released was a whole lot better, and it was a side-scroller. But this one, it was a good start at a new property. So, yeah, good on them. Do you like really tough boss battles after level? Well, let me tell you something. Furi, the definitive edition, is for you. So with Furi, all this game are boss battles. Now, I don't know about you, but boss battles are something I like to build up to. And this, I had to take some breaks from it time to time because it was just so frustrating, because boss battles really try to push you as, you know, the peak of the level, peak of toughness. So after battle, it was almost exhausting for me. You got to be at the top. You got to figure out how exactly this character plays. And if you're playing different games in between, it's kind of tough to, hone your skills and focus just on this game. So it's something that I want to come back to and keep playing. But right now, I'm kind of putting that one on pause. All right. And next up at the 15th spot, we have Golf Story. Now, I was actually very frustrated with this one because Limited Run released Golf Story on the Switch, and they also released the inner game Golf on a Nintendo cartridge. So I was kind of sour about that because they had two different versions of it. One was only 500 made, and another one was, I think, 1,000. So I tried for both copies of that cartridge, and I didn't. And of course, scalpers jacked up the price for the Nintendo cartridge. And I think because of that, I haven't played this game. Now, everyone says, I need to play it. So it's on my list of things to do, but I'm still soured about that. And I know that's one of the things that Limited Run gets a lot of, feedback on, or slack, or issues with it. And that's why people don't like Limited Run. So that was my negative experience with Limited Run. But because of that, it's kind of soured me to Golf Story. So let me know if anyone else was successful in getting that golf game, or if I should play Golf Story. All right, and at the 16th spot, we have Broken Age. And I got to be honest with you, this one just completely slipped my mind. I must have just gotten it and put it on the shelf because I've only heard good things about this one. It's got Elijah Wood and Jack Black on the cast of voice actors that were working on this one. So and it's by Double Fine. So I definitely need to dive into this one. I just never played this one. It looks great from what I've seen, the screenshots and the gameplay. So this one is one I'm definitely putting on my list to play. And at spots 17 and 18, we have Outlast and Outlast II. So let me tell you, these games are pretty scary. They're not for the younger audience. They're mature rated. I played these for a little while, and oh my gosh, they were terrifying. I like the second one a little bit better. Again, they're both terrifying. They're really good games. There are very scary games. So first-person horror, survival horror. So if you guys are into that, or looking for a scary game come Halloween, either of these are fantastic. I know they've been released on other consoles before, but for the Switch, portably, they're still scary on the go. And at last, at number 19, it's the game that I can't pronounce properly. It's Battle Chef Brigade Deluxe. I got it. At least I think that was pretty close. So this game looks a lot like Sorcery Saga for the Vita. I think with that one, you had to make curry. This just reminds me of that looking at it. I haven't actually played it because it's food, and I don't making food for other people. So I haven't given this one a shot at all. It looks entertaining, and it's got a really cool foil cover for the Switch. So not a lot of games have those foil covers.
But it looks entertaining. It's got like an ogre and like some other people on the cover. So let me know, is this something that I have to dip my foot into and making some dishes for people or puzzles or what? Let me know. Coming in at number 20 is Cosmicstar Heroine. Now, this is a heavy RPG. I remember when I first got this one for the Vita, it came with the manual and it was so thick that the little clip inside the container was almost breaking because it was so massive of a manual. So this game is very, very in-depth. It's not a bad RPG. It's pretty good. It's worth a shot. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. I didn't finish it, but it is definitely in depth. So give it a shot and let me know what you think. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse comes in at number 21. Now, I didn't even know who she was until they came out with Shantae and the Half Genie Hero, or Shantae the Half Genie Hero on the Vita, and they re-released it and brought it out to other consoles. So I first played that and I was wowed. You know, this was a good game. And then I found out that it was for Game Boy. So Way Forward really did a good job revamping this for the newer systems. I love it. You can't go wrong with a Shantae game. Highly recommended. And at 22, we have WindJammers. So this one I haven't put a lot of time in. There's some other mini games, like you can do, it looks like dog distance and bowling. So I think I've played the bowling. I like bowling. But I think a lot of it's done with frisbees and how they can incorporate frisbees into different games. So I've only played a little bit of this one. Haven't, I guess, hooked me yet. So let me know if I need to put more time into this one or if you guys like WindJammers. And now we have the Game of the Year nominee, Celeste. So I am currently going through this one and I am actually realizing why this was nominated for Game of the Year. It's actually better than I expected, and I don't know why it sat on my shelf for so long without me playing it. I guess I could say it's similar to Super Meat Boy. You have to die a whole bunch of times to figure out the proper way through a level, or figuring out what you have to do, or how to get around things without touching walls or touching stuff growing on the sides of the walls or different enemies. It's definitely tough. It's stressful, but they have different levels that you can set. So if you just want to go through and get the story, you can set it super easy. If you want it tough as nails, hey, they got you covered there. So Celeste, I'm actually going to recommend. So let me know what you guys think, and I can kind of see why it was nominated for Game of the Year for an independent publisher. Not bad. Coming in at our 24 slot, we have, oh boy, Danmaku Unlimited 3. So this, I believe it's a bullet hell shooter. So I played this and I actually got sucked in right away when I was playing it. So it is very tough, but very fun as well. It hasn't made me rage quit like Ikaruga, but I have quit several times just because I was frustrated. So it looks great and it's gorgeous. All the backgrounds and how the ships and enemies look. And this one, normally I really can't play shooters. I'm not good at them. This one I felt like I could hang. So let me know what you guys think of this one. And guys, rounding out the first 25 releases from Limited Run Games on the Switch, we have, oh God, how do I say this one? Iconoclasts. I can't pronounce it. My pronunciation skills are terrible. But here this one is. It's got, I don't know, it never drew me in. It looks interesting. I want to play it at some point. I just haven't opened her up yet. It looks like a side-scrolling either platformer or action game. The problem with this one is they don't tell you a lot of what it is. It could be story-related. I haven't looked up any reviews on it. I've been lazy with this one. Let me know what you guys think on this one. I haven't even broken the seal on that one yet. So let me know if you think I need to, if it's worth it, if it's not, if I'm just going to waste my time playing it. Just keep me updated.
All right, guys. So that was Limited Run Games, Nintendo Switch releases 1 through 25. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And not only that, like I said, I'm collecting from other companies as well as regular releases in stores for not only Switch, but also PlayStation and Xbox. I like playing all games and collecting all games. So if you know of any other company that I'm not even looking at that I need to take a look at, let me know. And if there are any other games that you want to see me cover, let me know in the comments down below. I'm Batkerm, and I'll see you in the next one.